Everyone that learns guitar has the same problem, learning how to change chords quickly enough to play a song without pausing. Everywhere online, people just tell you to practice, which of course you need to practice. But when you're starting out, the thing you need to know is what to practice and how to practice to make progress quickly. So today we're going to go over the 3 most important things you need to do when you're practicing your chord changes. And trick number 3 is actually not something you need to practice. As soon as you do it, you're going to be able to play a song without pausing. So let's get into it. Trick number 1 is the most important. What you need to do is when you take off a chord, let's say we're going from a G to a C. When you take your hand off that G chord, don't take your whole hand off the neck and open your hand up like this. And when you put on the C chord, don't put on one finger at a time, starting at the bottom. This is what almost every beginner does, and it costs you a lot of time. So instead, start at this G chord, and we're going to move to the C chord, and we're going to start with our ring finger as an exercise. We just put our ring finger straight up here. So we're going to move our ring finger from this spot all the way up here, and then put on the rest. It's a much less movement that you have to do, so it happens much quicker. And then next, we really just want to be moving all our fingers at the same time to the chord we're going to. And when you do that, it might feel awkward at first, but just practice it slowly and so that you're not making a bunch of extra movement to get to where you need to be. This works between any chord. So let's say we're going from an E minor to a D. Instead of taking it off and putting it on like this, move your fingers straight from where they are to where they're going. And you can practice this even one finger at a time. Where's my middle finger going? Oh, right there. It's an easy, quick motion. This is going to make your chord changes way faster just without doing anything else. That's trick number 1. Trick number 2 is just to practice just the chord changes that you want to learn without trying to play the whole song. If I practice a chord progression like this, I've now spent 99% of my time on the thing that I'm not trying to learn, the strum pattern. And I've spent 1% of my time actually changing the chord. So when you practice, if you're having trouble moving your chords quickly enough, take 5 minutes of your practice time and just practice the chord changes, applying that trick we just learned of not taking your hand off and putting it back on, but just moving your fingers directly where they want to go. Take the chord progression you're trying to learn and just practice one change at a time. So let's say we're trying to learn E minor to D. So we'll just go E minor to D, back to E minor to D. We're not even strumming on the right hand at first, because what we're practicing is the movements. So we can focus on making as little wasted movements as possible. Just back and forth and back and forth. Okay, here's trick number 3. This is the one I told you don't even need to practice for it to work. When you're starting out, choose a strum pattern that leaves a natural gap at the end of the pattern before you go to the next chord. Let's try one that's called root strum. So play the lowest note of the chord twice, and then strum the whole chord. And now, this is a nice rhythm that's in a lot of songs that leaves a long pause for you to have time to change chords. So even if I'm really slow going from a G to a C, if my pattern is this, that gives me plenty of time to get there. Here's another easy pattern that leaves a gap. Down, down, up, down. Gives you way more time than most other strum patterns will, because there's a nice little pause that's baked into the rhythm. It's so important to be playing things that you enjoy when you're starting out and actually playing a song, because so many people quit before they make any real progress because every time they play, they don't feel like they're actually making music. So try these 3 tips. If I helped you learn something today, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.